Your flight just vanished from the departure board. You, and 160 other people, are now stranded. But the plane isn't broken. The storm passed an hour ago. So what actually killed your flight? It wasn't one thing. It was 3 invisible clocks that all hit zero at the exact same time. Today, we're auditing the minute-by-minute math that makes an entire airline network collapse. It starts small. At 2:05 p.m., a line of thunderstorms just brushes the airport hub. Air traffic control hits pause. It's called a ground stop, a temporary hold on all arrivals to keep the skies safe. 35 minutes. That's all. You, sitting in 22A, have no idea the dominoes have already started to fall. By 2:10, the plane that was supposed to become your plane is circling overhead. By 2:40, it can't wait anymore, it diverts to another city. It's now in the wrong place. By 3:05, your crew is at 12 hours and 20 minutes on duty. They have a hard legal cap at 14 hours. This isn't a guideline, it's the law. A mandatory 10 hours of rest must follow. By 3:15, your gate is still occupied. Why? A wheelchair assist is late and a bag jam hasn't been cleared. At 3:30, the airline pulls the plug. Cancelled. Not because of a broken plane, but because of broken schedules. Because the clocks ran out. The system offers you a rebook for 9:50 p.m. Meanwhile, the nurse next to you just missed her night shift. The parent in 22B loses a non-refundable hotel booking. One decision forces 160 people to frantically reshuffle their lives, childcare, meals, money. All because of 35 minutes of rain. So let's look at the brutal math behind that sting. An airport's arrival rate, think of it as its speed limit, drops from 60 planes per hour to just 24. For a half hour, 18 planes that were supposed to land simply couldn't. And that queue doesn't just disappear when the clouds part. It stacks up. It compounds. A short disruption creates a long, painful tail. Just 30 minutes of reduced flow can build into a 1 or even 2-hour recovery jam during peak times. We call that speed limit the airport acceptance rate, or AAR. And when weather squeezes it, time, not distance, becomes the real enemy. Now let's map the system you're trapped inside. First, the aircraft. That 737 or A320 you're supposed to be on. It flies 5 to 7 flights, what they call legs, every single day. The typical time it spends on the ground between flights, the turn time, is a razor-thin 35 to 45 minutes. Longer if it needs de-icing. A diverted airplane isn't just delayed, it's a multi-million-dollar asset that is now completely useless, stuck in the wrong city. Next, the crew. Your pilots and flight attendants operate on a biological and legal clock. Their pairings string together 3 to 6 flights under that strict duty and rest law. They can be on duty for 9 to 14 hours, but once they hit that wall, they need a hard 10 hours of minimum rest. So, what happens if you miss that window by just 20 minutes? You don't just slip a little. The clock completely resets. Your crew is grounded for 10 full hours. And then, the gates. The simplest piece of the puzzle, right? Wrong. Gates are finite plugs for an infinite stream of planes. A domestic jet occupies a gate for about 30 to 50 minutes. But just one blocked gate can hold 2 other arrivals hostage out on the taxiway. After a ground stop, these blocked gates are the hidden choke point that brings the entire system to its knees. Let's put it all together. You have 4 critical flows that must line up perfectly. 1. The tail number, the specific airplane, has to be at the gate for the next leg to start. 2. The crew must be there, and their legal duty clock can't be timed out. 3. Passengers have to make their connections, or those connecting flights leave with dozens of empty seats. And 4. Arriving planes need a free gate. If not, the traffic jam cascades backward onto the taxiway. And all that time you're waiting? A plane like yours is burning 600 to 1,000 pounds of fuel an hour. That's money and emissions, literally vanishing into thin air. The constraints are unbelievably tight. How much slack is in the system? Spare aircraft make up just 1 to 3% of the entire fleet. Reserve crews? Maybe 8 to 15%, depending on the day and location. It means a short weather event creates a long recovery queue. It means crews, not planes, are the real anchors of most cancellations. When a crew hits their duty wall, their entire chain of subsequent flights just dies. And it means the gate, not the sky, is what you see as the problem. So here are the failure modes you can actually see from your seat. First, the duty time cliff. A tiny 20-minute delay at hour 12 of a crew's shift can trigger that catastrophic 10-hour reset. Today's 20-minute problem just became tomorrow morning's missing crew. Second, mispositioned assets. A diversion strands a plane and its crew where they aren't scheduled or even qualified to fly the next route. You can't just swap pilots onto a different plane type. And third, gate gridlock. Arrivals wait because departures can't push back. That single bag jam extends one plane's time at the gate and locks up the entire flow. It's a snowball effect. One cancellation strands one aircraft and one crew. But that pair had 2 to 4 more flights scheduled for the rest of the day. One cancellation becomes 3, instantly. Let's run a resilience drill. From 2 to 2:35 p.m., the airport's speed limit is cut in half. About 18 arrivals are delayed. From 2:35 to 3:30 p.m., the storm is gone, but the gates are all full. Now planes are holding on the taxiway for 15 to 30 minutes. Crews are burning through their final buffer minutes, getting dangerously close to their legal limits. From 3:30 to 5 p.m., the timeouts begin. This is when airlines start making painful choices. They pre-cancel flights with fewer passengers to protect tomorrow's crucial first wave of departures. Reserves are called in. Passenger connections evaporate. From 5 to 8 p.m., the recovery is crippled by limited reserves and airport curfews. Some problems can't be fixed until the next morning. Is there a single lever that could have bent this curve? Yes. Protect the crew clock at all costs. An airline could pre-cancel flights before the storm even hits to keep crews within their legal windows. They can resequence flights to shorten the most critical turnarounds. Or move hot reserve crews, on-call pilots ready to fly, to the hub before the storm. Saving one crew pairing often saves 3 downstream flights. Now let's bring it back to your seat at the gate. That half-hour storm shaved the airport's speed limit. The airline protected tomorrow morning's schedule by sacrificing your 3:30 p.m. flight today. The nurse loses a night's wages. The parent eats a hotel charge. The airline eats huge crew and fuel costs. This isn't chaos. It's the cold, hard reality of clock math meeting human life. So, what's your playbook as a traveler? It's simple. 1. Book the first flight of the day. There are fewer upstream dependencies and the crews are fresh. 2. Always choose non-stops. If you must connect, give yourself at least 60 minutes and avoid that last flight of the night. 3. Watch the weather at the airline's main hub, not just your city. If you see storms there, rebook proactively before everyone else does. And 4. If you can, carry on. A checked bag chains you to a specific flight, removing your flexibility. So what's the final verdict? The system is vulnerable. The biggest weak points are weather that cuts airport capacity in half, tightly packed flight schedules, scarce gates, and those unforgiving duty clocks. But the airlines aren't helpless. Their strengths are the predictability of these systems. They can plan buffers, use remote stands for planes, and strategically pre-cancel flights to save the rest of the network. When it's all said and done, what's the one takeaway? Test it yourself. Take 3 cups to represent airport gates, and 12 coins for flights arriving per hour. Now, for 1 minute, only land 6 coins. Then go back to 12. Watch how long it takes to clear that coin backlog. That traffic jam, that tail is why your flight died. In your own life, what's the single point of failure you're unknowingly betting on? A clock, a gate, a single person? And how many promises depend on it working perfectly? Think about it. Now, the absolute worst part of getting stuck at the airport is the not knowing. So I want to hear your story. What's the most insane reason your flight has ever been cancelled or delayed? Drop the most brutal stories in the comments below. I'm going to read them all. And while you're down there, if you're fascinated by how these complex systems secretly run and break our world, hit that subscribe button. We run a new science audit every single day. The domino math isn't just in the sky, it's also in the systems you use every day. To see what I mean, click the video on your screen right now. It audits a totally different system that breaks for the exact same reasons. See you there.